Hey everyone, it's Augustus. So today I wanted to talk about medical problems, and I know in my last video I pointed out the fact that I have a bit of a genetic bone deformity on my right hand. And my left hand isn't as bad, but um, I'm not the only member of my family that has this problem, but I've noticed that when it comes to doing certain things like well, let's just say typing on a computer, for example. I'm not able to type as fast as most people because of this deformity, and everyone says that, oh well, you should be able to type just fine, you should be able to do this, you should be able to, that's not the case. I'm especially finding that out the older I get, because when I was in junior high, a doctor that I had been seeing, I stopped seeing him because, well, he went into retirement, but I don't know. I don't know if he's came back out of retirement or not, but he had diagnosed me with a type of arthritis, and he said that the type of arthritis I had is typically genetic. It's usually it's not really passed along. It's just something that's, I guess, hereditary, and sometimes some people get it and they don't. And he called it, I guess, he called it junior reformatory arthritis or something like that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but he said that sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't, and in my case it really hasn't gone away, and over the years it's gotten worse, especially if my hands get cold. They tend to really get stiff along the knuckles, especially on my right hand, and it's just really difficult for me to grab things, or I lose strength in my hands. So anyway, in regards to medical problems, I've got other medical problems. I've had heart surgery, aside from splitting my chin open and then my hands, and it's just, I look at medical problems and I see that, people have all these medical problems in the world, and they go to the doctor gives them some medicine, and it just seems like there's a pill for everything, but there isn't a pill. Well, just doesn't seem like there's a pill to stop all the bullying in the world. And what really irritates me is when people see that I have a slight handicap or disadvantage, because I would consider this a handicap or disadvantage. They take advantage, or they find someone to tease me, or it's just, it's just some form of irritation that they want to cause. So Anyway, what I'm getting at is, you know, you can have all the medication in the world, you can see all the doctors in the world, and it's not going to change anything. It's not going to fix all the problems in the world. So, what I've been thinking is, here lately, is instead of wasting money and spending money that I clearly don't have to correct my medical problems or my issues, if I get hurt, I don't want someone coming up to me, whether I stop breathing, whether I'm laying there dead or they think I'm dead or whatever. I don't want the help, period, is what I'm getting at. I would just assume they die, they shove me in a shoebox, and they stick me in the ground. And forget about me. And because, I mean, the way I see it, I'm no one important. People treat me like I'm not important. So, you know what? If that's really the case, then, you know, it wouldn't hurt them to respect my wishes anyway and do like I ask. So, instead of having to carry a DNR around and tell people, you know, if you post a video and you make it public and it's publicly known to the world and you post it out there to where anyone can see it, you know, it really shouldn't matter, you know. People need to learn to respect your wishes. That's exactly what they need to do. So, I mean, if I'm stuck in a building and it's on fire, don't save me. If I stop breathing, don't do CPR. If I've been shot, don't plug the hole. Let me bleed out. You know? If someone robs me, well, and I get stabbed, well, don't bother finding the robber and just let me die. You know, it's one less human, and the end result, the Illuminati will get what they want. Because, I mean, we all know that they want to remove 90, well, perhaps even over 90% of the world population. Since they have that 110% method that they use, which is completely inaccurate, but I'm only quoting them. And when I say them, I mean the Illuminati. Or Anunnaki, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. So, and, you know, when I speak out, you know, I don't take sides, you know, and it's like recently, I've had a couple people, one of my subscribers, you know, suggested that I subscribe to Anonymous TV, and I won't mention their names for privacy reasons, but another one of my friends also suggested it as well, and I just was talking with that friend, and it kind of seems like to take an Anonymous side is just basically taking the flip side of that coin, and that's not how I perceive the world. That's not how the world really should be ran. And when I post videos, I typically post them to get my message out, because I mean, I might agree with some of the things that Anonymous says, but that doesn't mean I agree with them entirely. And the way Illuminati sees is, if you're not with them, you're against them. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I don't typically agree with their methods either. And as far as Anonymous taking the liberty of hacking into systems and taking control. I, for one, don't support it. And at the same time, I mean, while I agree that their methods of opposing the Illuminati might be correct, the way they do it, I don't agree with. If I was to agree, they would have to do something a lot more drastic. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's enough, and for the most part, unlike the Illuminati who don't show their face, and unlike Anonymous who also don't show their face, I show my face because I want my enemies to know the face that's going to destroy them. Because I have no fear. You know, everyone's probably sitting there thinking, oh, well, he's full of shit, you know, he's got fear or whatever. You don't know me. You don't really know me. And, I think for the most part, you know, it's just really annoying that, you know, a lot of these shadow governments that control the actual insight governments are just manipulating them like puppets on a string. So that's why I've made the decisions I made not to receive help from any of those organizations, whether it's police departments, federal agencies, whether it's, I mean, you know, if I really had to give up everything I had, or it was taken from me because they took it, fine. But that just proves me right. That just, all in all, that proves what I've been saying for years is right, and I was right all along. So by doing so, they're just playing right into my hand. But regardless, you know, they want to think that they're right. I'll let them think whatever they want, because as an end result, they're not right. See, they think it's a game. They think, oh, it's like a game of chess. We'll try to out-strategize them, and sorry, I'm just gonna take that chessboard and I'm gonna knock it off the table and still say I won. Doesn't mean that I'm a sore loser. Just means I don't play your fucking shithead games. So, regardless, you know, like I was saying, you know, and originally this video was meant to be about, you know, medical problems, and it is. I mean, you know, everyone has their own problems, medically, mentally, or whatever, and the point is if you don't want help, don't accept it. And, you know, if people go against your will, you can either choose to take action against them or take action against them. Because, I mean, if someone's gonna, you know, I'll give you a real good example. You stop breathing and someone performs CPR on you, and you've already told them, you know, if you ever stop breathing, not to do CPR on you, and they do it anyway. You know, to me, that's the exact same thing as a DNR. That's you know. Now, for some people who ask, because I've said this a couple times now, you know, the term DNR. DNR is do not resuscitate, and usually it's a form you carry in your wallet or on you, and a lot of times anymore they'll do that anyway because they believe in human preservation and saving lives and all that, and I don't believe in that crap. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And honestly, I don't want people, you know, touching me or, you know, because I can't trust people, you know, especially with them, with governments of the world and shadow governments with all this genetic modification and altering, and just can't trust people anymore. It's not paranoia, it's not schizophrenia. You just really can't trust people because you don't know where they've been, who they've been around. You don't know what they might be carrying. I mean, it's like a dog with rabies, you know? Would you want a dog with rabies giving you CPR? I think not. You know, I mean, that's probably a really shitty analogy, but it's true. So for the most part, you know, I honestly don't want anyone touching me. You know, if I collapse or whatever, I would just assume, you know, get this out there, you know, make my point across, and you know, and if I die, I die. You know, if I don't, I don't. You know, it really doesn't matter. You know. But regardless, I mean, I would say, you know, don't touch me because, first of all, it goes against my wishes. Second of all, I disapprove of it. Third of all, well, I've heard of, well, let's just say I've heard of cases of people being sued for not listening, and that's the thing, you know. I mean, that's a good way to lose your job. That's a good way to, you know, to just not keep a professional reputation about yourself. I mean, it's also a good way to get sued, especially if you don't know if the person is carrying the DNR and they decide to take you to court. But we all know that the court system is owned by the Illuminati, and we all know that you know, ultimately they're going to side with the person who saved your life, which I don't agree with. You know, if you're going to sit there and you're going to carry a DNR that says do not resuscitate, and they resuscitate you, they're keeping you here against your will. Whether you collapse on the street or in the hospital. So, you know, I mean, that is a real problem that I have with it, and I mean, and that's just from, say, like the paramedic doctor perspective. Now, I mean, looking at being trapped in a building with fire, saving someone from a building that's on fire, if you don't want to be saved, I mean, I know people are going to call me stupid, and I'm going to get a lot of, you know, a lot of heat from this, but I really don't care. You know, I'm stating my opinion, and it's solid. There's no change in my mind. So, as far as I'm concerned, you know, that's like saving a person from a building that's on fire. And regardless, you know, you save them from that building that's on fire and they don't want to be saved. Well, you know, I guarantee the next time they see you, they're going to hate you for that. And that's the same principle with resuscitating someone too. You know, next time they see you, they're gonna hate you for that as well. So, you know, and I guess this could apply to the police as well. Definitely the police. Which, I mean, I've had problems with them, and I still do. And I won't really go into too much detail about that because of the fact that I don't agree with their methods, and I know that a majority of them do work for the Illuminati, especially where I live, and they will lie right to your face and say they don't, but I know different, and I know that it's true. So, regardless, you know, as long as I get my message out there, I don't care. But I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and have people tell me that I can't say these things because I don't know that they're not true. You know, that I know that they're not true or whatever. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So, you know, if you have medical problems and you want to get help, good for you. If you don't, well, fine. You know, that should be a personal choice, and people and humans should not dictate what other humans do. Period. And Anunnaki should not dictate what humans do. But, you know, their thought and logic on that is well, they shouldn't, but they do anyway. And I don't agree with that, because as far as I'm concerned, if that is the case, then I'm not going to take any side. I'm going to take my own side, and if they don't like it, well, I guess they'll just have to try and kill me then. So, I mean, that's all I have to say. I mean, you know, about that. You know, if people have medical problems and they want help, fine. If they don't, then good. So, anyway, I appreciate, you know, people watching my videos, and I know a lot of times it seems like when I say things, it's directed at people, and I don't typically direct it at people. I really don't. You know, when I talk to the camera or I talk to people, I tend to use generalizations. And when I say generalizations, I mean just, I don't exclusively point it to one person. It may seem that way, but really, it's more of a broader arrow. It's not a roundabout way of pointing the finger at someone and saying, oh, well, it was that person that said it, or he said it, or she said it. No, it's more like they all said it. And, you know, people shouldn't feel bad about the things I say, because, you know, in a way, we're all part of the same problem. So really, we all should be working together to get rid of that problem. And it's not that hard to figure out. So that's all I really have to say about that. And I appreciate people watching my videos. And I thank you for taking the time to watch them. and please feel free to subscribe, like, favorite, share this video. And of course, again, if you don't like it, there is a dislike button and an unsubscribe button. Though, I mean, I would encourage you to stay subscribed and, you know, and to like the videos. But that's entirely up to you. I mean, I can't twist your arm, you know, through the computer or video camera or whatever. And again, thank you.